According to the Oxford Dictionary, the word Jagoff is defined as a noun, which means a stupid, irritating, or...
Here's how Pittsburghers define a word jagoff. When someone cuts you off on a parkway. Jagoff!
Or someone scares the out of you.
Yeah, Jagoff!
Or it's a term of endearment.
How you been, Jagoff?
This is Mark Madden.
Hi, this is Larry Richard.
This is Kevin Wildbill.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle.
Hi, this is Rocky Blair.
Hey, it's Rick Seaback.
Hi, this is Greg Brown.
Hi, I'm Tyler Kennedy.
This is Santonio Holmes.
And this is the Ya Jagoff podcast.
Well, we're going to start the podcast, and we are at Bentley Pittsburgh. And so we were supposed to be at an award ceremony next week, and we're not. So here we go. This is how we do the podcast. Ready?
This is our ode to the Golden Quills.
Right.
So
and
this
again,
is the GQ episode
for
Golden Quills.
Cleanly edited version on Tuesday on YaJagoff.com and on Monday on radio.com. And here we go. Rohrich Honda takes pride in community involvement, from looking forward to walk-in vehicle questions to customizing end-of-the-month deals. They always have the customer in mind.
So be sure to catch their community event, perfectly titled The Pick Up and Go Comedy Show, that places local comedians in the back of a Honda Ridgeline, and where? In a parking lot. So check Rohrich Automotive social media for details on when you can socially distance and have a truckload of fun. But as always, visit Rohrich.com for all of your vehicle needs.
Boom. And here we are doing the podcast from the Bentley, yes, the Bentley dealer.
Rohrich Automotive Bentley.
So this is the Ya Jagoff podcast, and as you heard, we are at the Bentley Pittsburgh dealer up here in the Cranberry-Warrendale area, and we have a Bentley sitting right behind us. So today's podcast is kind of unique, but before we get into who's all on here, this is where we ask you typically, if you're watching the podcast right now, go to radio.com and subscribe to it, or go to wherever you get your podcast and subscribe to it, because every week we do this.
And we talk about something Pittsburgh, right? So we also want to know if you have any suggestions on what we can talk about going on in Pittsburgh. Now, this time, we are talking about the Golden Quills. And we're so excited because we get to interview some really cool people.
Right. And then in the meantime, we also, the city paper has a little contest going on.
Yeah, this is where we would talk about the blog.
Yeah.
But we're not.
Yeah, we're self-promoting today.
We have to, because now it's down to the end, John, okay? You see my serious face. There's no joking.
Game face.
Game flippin' face. We are up for 2 categories, kind of like the Golden Quills, but we're up for 2 categories for the City Paper Best Of, and it's blog and podcast. So we're super excited. You're going to see some heavy-hitting ads this week because we are that serious.
Right.
Expect some videos. It's going to be Jagoff overload, right? So basically, if you haven't voted, please go to the City Paper and vote for us. We really appreciate your vote because we love Pittsburgh and we love our viewers.
Right. All right, so I just lost my audio. Did you turn down the green one? Yeah, don't. Yeah, just leave it there. All right, cool. So anyways, so what we have as far as guests today are people. So we're up for this Golden Quill. If you're not familiar with the Golden Quill, it's a media process. It's a media recognition, professional recognition. And the Golden Quills are not just like people in Pittsburgh who voted. It's media professionals outside of this area who have sampled, either read or watched or listened to all of the entries, and they decide whether someone can be considered as a finalist for a Golden Quill, which, by the way, we were.
2. And the cool part is our guests today reflect that. So the 2 finalists in the categories in which we were nominated and finalists for, we are reprising them and seeing where they are, because it's been 1.5 years since their episodes. So it's kind of cool because we get to catch up. Now, one of them is becoming a little nauseating, right? Frzy, he's like the Arthur Motes of the Ya Jagoff podcast. He's on all the time now. But he said, if you actually hear this, he said, you're retired, bro. So he's actually the new...
he called you out.
He's the new Arthur on our podcast.
So what we're going to do on today's podcast for the visual side of it is, and if you're listening to the podcast, we'll leave this moment in here because you can go to Facebook Live backwards to Saturday and watch this. But as we call the guests out, they're going to get to experience a Bentley.
How about that?
Right.
Hashtag experience
so
Bentley.
We didn't have enough money to have everybody driven around. So what they're going to do is come out from the showroom, slide through, and Colin is going to let them in and out.
Listen, if you can't beat them, join them. So we can't afford a Bentley, but we know that it's quite the car. So check it out.
So as we start the award ceremony music, let's bring in Jason Moka.
Jason Moka.
So
Jason Moka is wearing the classic Bentley shirt.
Yeah, right. Right. We have to make sure we're.
We would have used a red carpet, except we needed a tablecloth. That's how we roll.
look at Colin. He's so.
Colin is our Vanna. He's
Colin
helping
is
us.
dressed in today's banquet attire. Wouldn't you think?
It's flannelette.
So Jason Moka,
Right there, brother.
grab the microphone. That was great.
I love Colin. I love it. Jason Moka, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, it's always a pleasure.
He was so excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are kind of the jack of all trades at the Rohrich Automotive Group.
Yeah.
We obviously talked to Jay when we're at Mazda. We talked to Larry when we're at Honda.
Yeah.
We're going to start chatting it up at Toyota. We're excited about that. But today we're here at Bentley. Talk a little bit about Bentley isn't as well known all around because it's a little bit of a specialty car.
It is.
Okay.
little
But
bit.
people know about it.
Well, Bentley is, it's a heritage brand. They just celebrated their 100th anniversary. They've been in the city for a long, long time. Rohrich acquired the brand about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And we were based on West Liberty Avenue until late 17, and we moved up to this building in early 18.
Okay.
So this building shares Maserati and Bentley.
So what kind of driver is a Bentley driver? Like, I remember when we first met you a few years back, and we were like in astonishment of just the detail, right? I mean, I have to say,
Sure.
every vehicle has its perks that you can say, well, that's why I drive a fill in the blank.
Sure.
But Bentley, I mean, the way you explain it, just the custom tree, right? Not the custom tree. Custom built stuff.
Most of our clients tend to want to customize their vehicle. So
Right.
Okay.
they will build it, and that's, 6 months down the road, you'll see your car. Obviously with COVID, that's pushed a bit, but we do keep vehicles in stock. You can come into the showroom and, we do order some, and we do sell them.
Sure.
But there is a level of, if you want to go above it, we can make that happen for you.
And that's
Absolutely.
rare, right, in the car industry?
It's rare.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not many brands offer that kind of personal service. Bentley is one of the few. It's a brand where it's well known, but they're making an effort to be more inclusive, I guess you could say. People think I have a Bentley, or somebody has a Bentley, you need a driver or a chauffeur or something like that. It's not really like that anymore.
Yeah.
They are more driver's cars. They are a sporty luxury car. And now all the models except one are all-wheel drive. So our clients use them as daily drivers, as summer cars, as weekend cars, however you want to do it. But they are safest cars on the road, and they can be in the snow.
Well,
so
that's
they're
exactly
good for Pittsburgh.
That's exactly what I was.
There you go.
Except for someone who's making a Pittsburgh left in front of your Bentley, right?
Right. You don't want that. No.
So, and that's actually what I was going to ask you. Is you kind of answered that. When someone buys a Bentley, is it their only car, or is this that car that they're
That's a good
taking out
question.
to date night, or taking out to friends? If I had one, I'd take it out one night every 10 years, and that would be to my class reunion.
Yeah.
The rest of
You show off.
How about you thought about that? Like, he actually thought about where he would drive.
He
his
really
Bentley.
did. He put a lot of thought into that one.
I don't have dates, so.
I guess the answer to that question is both.
Yeah.
We have people who use it as it's their 5th, 6th, 7th car, and then we have people who just have aspired to want one,
Right.
and say, I'm gonna trade in my S Class or my 7 Series,
Sure.
and I'm gonna get a Flying Spur.
Sure.
It's an all-wheel drive. It's of similar size, and you could use it as a daily. We have a customer that has I believe, a 1st generation or 2nd generation Flying Spur that has over 150,000 miles on it, and it's regularly maintained here, and nothing's wrong with the car. I mean, he just drives the wheels off it.
Wow.
Now we
That's
talked
awesome.
about
It's
how
great to see. Yeah,
we
it's great
talked
to see.
about how great the service is for Bentley, but
Sure.
and that's almost doubling down on the Rohrich advantage at this point, right? Because the Rohrich family does the Rohrich advantage, but do you even need the Rohrich advantage because of the high level of high touch care you get here at Bentley?
Yeah, so this store,
another good question.
this
Thanks,
store we
Rach.
don't have the Rohrich advantage just because of the specialty nature
Right.
of the vehicles. But yes, I mean, it does help to have that association.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen,
Absolutely.
usually I ask the best questions, but he didn't even go on script.
Yeah, he's just
He's
rolling
on
with
fire,
it. And I
yeah.
get it. I understand.
You know, and we'll
Absolutely.
drive him to his reunions in our Bentleys.
Yeah.
right?
No, we want to make it a point to let people know that we have more to offer than just Maserati and Bentley.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to feel a level of insecurity or intimidation to come to this
That's
store.
a good point. Yeah.
We have everything here from, you know, people trade in everything here. We buy cars from all over. We have everything from a dually truck to a Mazda 6 to an Escalade, all the way up to your $500,000 Bentley. Yeah. So there's something literally for everybody here. And we want to make sure that everybody feels welcome to stop in here. It's not an appointment-only kind of culture here. We're open. You could walk in and you'll get the same level of service whether you buy a Bentley or any other brand.
And speaking of being open, and you're having an event here shortly, right?
We are. We're having a car show here that benefits the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix, or the charities of the Pittsburgh Vintage Grand Prix, I should say, on September 19th. That information is on our website as well as the Grand Prix website.
And we'll obviously have it.
Yeah,
as well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And that show is about, we're already at 100 registered cars. We're closing registration on the 5th. It's a catered, we're going to have catered food, mostly vintage cars. Most of the people that came, got an invite or just registered through the Grand Prix website. So if you have a car and you want to bring it out, you're more than welcome to bring it out. It's $50. All the proceeds go to the charities of the Grand Prix.
And you can come look around at these fine cars.
Absolutely. We're going to have them all outside. We're going to empty the showroom and have all vintage Bentleys and Rolls Royces inside. So feel free to stop by and wander the grounds.
I'm going to invite my classmates.
Oh my gosh, he has to stop talking.
Yeah.
Make him stop talking.
Yeah,
All right, Jason,
He's
you're
into it.
suckered in for the question of the day. Are you
Yeah.
ready for
Okay,
it?
I'm ready.
Since this
I'm
is
ready.
our GQ episode and we're
Okay.
talking about, ceremonies and award ceremonies,
Yeah.
we appreciate that you are celebrating with us. But
Okay.
if you were granted an award acceptance speech for anything, one of your talents, whatever, even if it's car related, who is the person you would thank first? You get up there, Jason Moka, how do you feel? You thank?
Your parents.
Perfect. That was a good answer.
That was a good one.
Did you like my question of the day?
That was a good one,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
was
good
good.
question.
Yeah.
That's-
Thank you.
I think that's, but until you're up there,
Yeah.
you might freeze a bit. You wouldn't know what to say.
humana.
You need to have
Yeah.
a prepared
Right.
Yes.
speech.
Yeah.
You can pull it out of your sport jacket.
Yes.
And,
the sport jackets
I
are
want
complete
to-
use because I have shorts.
hey,
Zoom effect, right?
I want to thank John Chamberlain. You know what I mean? Like, you never
Yeah.
know. But yes,
There
I
you
think
go.
your
funny.
parents are the first people who come to mind.
Jason
if you've
Moka,
come
it's
that far.
listen, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. We
Thank you.
appreciate all the support with
Yes.
all the Rohrich Automotive
We
groups.
love working with you
and
guys.
we'll have everybody
we appreciate
follow.
it as well, and it's awesome. Thanks for doing it
Thanks.
here, and I think this is a good venue to have this.
We're coming back.
Right?
We're
Yeah.
coming back.
coming back.
We'll
Okay.
think of another reason.
We'll make something happen.
There you go.
All right.
Jason.
All right, next
All
up.
right, our next. No, so as we told you, our guests we don't have enough money to have our guests driven here. So they're basically
tacky.
going
It
to.
sounds so tacky.
But hey, we're a podcast. What do you want? Right? So our next guest is Kim, right? Kim
Yes.
Palmiero.
Yes.
Kim, and so we're going to, you slide
Okay,
over
do I
here and
move?
watch Kim.
I feel like Kathy Lee again.
There you go.
I'm going this way.
Yeah. Look at her. Da da da. Da da da. Da da da.
Kim is wearing a beautiful black T-length dress, shorter in the front with a longer back detailing. Colin is now running around to get Kim, who is
Very classy
delicately
move by
placed
Colin.
into the Bentley vehicle.
Wow.
There's
there
no
we go.
profanity. She's coming right out very elegantly. Colin is giving her.
Oh, look at him. He's excellent at this. He's excellent.
Kim, you didn't even
Oh.
hear all of our wonderful things we said about you on your way out of the beautiful Bentley.
Because Rachel was describing what you're wearing, because that's usually the first question is, who are you wearing today, Kim?
Yeah.
Who am I wearing? Amazon?
There you go. There you go. I was going Old Navy. Kim, we have been trying to organize some kind of spot for you on the podcast literally for a year. You are that busy of a lady.
So kind of you to ask me.
Oh my
Really
gosh, are you kidding?
appreciate it.
This is where, I could go off script Actually, I could go on script and talk about, obviously what we're going to chat with you. But I had the pleasure of working with you 20 years ago at the Tribune Review. And I emailed her this today that I said, Kim has this poise to her that as a woman, you're like, wow, what does she do? Who is she? She's so intriguing because she has a confidence. And when she sent me some of the things that she's working on, it made me realize that's why. And we're pretty much the same age, but you were there a little bit longer than me, and I got to see her really pave the way for women in journalism. So Kim is here for kind of a dual role because she plays a part in the GQ, which is the Golden Quills, right? But she also has a very large role in Postindustrial as well. So we want to get to know Kim, but first, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for asking me to be here. I admire your work, both of you. I've watched it grow. It's a tremendous concept and great and fun. So thank you very much.
You're too cute.
We appreciate that. It's kind of fun when we can take a heavier topic and still have a lighter side to it. And
absolutely.
Not that we're going to make fun of everything, but it's just kind of fun that way. And the part for us is, I think, is that we got the phrase, everybody's used to the phrase, Ya Jagoff now. It was like...
It's a Pittsburgh thing, right?
You can hear it without laughing.
Right.
So.
Well, and listen, it's sort of a good way to start the conversation with you because journalism was always such a serious, serious topic. Not that it's not now, but it has changed and grown, as you said, in that, starting out as a journalist in the written form at the newspaper and then coming over to podcasts, I had no idea what a podcast was. And I think most old school journalists didn't know either, or what was this thing that was up and coming. The word Jagoff is a funny tongue-in-cheek way for us to boast of Pittsburgh. So it's kind of a cool way to say, we really are evolving and we are something in this city that nobody thought we were. So I guess start with where you started. You wanted to go into journalism. Why, and where did that path take you?
Like a lot of people, I knew about Watergate. I mean, I was too small to live through that, but I saw the difference that the work that journalists could make.
A little closer.
A little closer.
Yeah,
Sorry, everybody.
No,
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
I saw the difference and the impact that journalists could make with the work that they produce just by documenting something that otherwise people wouldn't know. It's really powerful when used well, and when used, on a broad basis. And so I thought that is, and I love to write, and so I thought I have to do that. And I've always felt that it's just something that is so much a part of me that I have worked really, really hard to be able to stay in it and to be able to kind of help reinvent, because I do firmly believe in it and that, there are models for it. So have always done this, graduated from college and was fortunate enough to keep getting jobs. People kept hiring me, thankfully, got promotions, so very fortunate. And then I went off and did other things.
And that was always the first thing you wanted to do was journalism? Did you have a good support system with that?
I did. I wanted to be a lawyer for a while, but yeah, it's pretty much mostly been this. So, I had a brief period where I wanted to be an opera singer, but that didn't last long.
Well, we're going to try that
Oh,
out
I
today.
love it. That's awesome. I can still sing Ave Maria.
That's what Dave.
Oh
I might
my
make her
God.
do it at some point.
So Kim,
That's my karaoke. Ave
there you
Maria.
go. Oh, John loves karaoke.
yeah,
You said the wrong word.
I love bad karaoke. I don't like to watch good karaoke. I like to watch the train wrecks.
The only fun karaoke is bad karaoke.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's true.
Exactly. So now, Kim, we've had radio people on here before where they've had to transition from not just showing up and talking on a microphone. Now they have to tweet, they have to Facebook, they have to write blogs and all that. You're that example in the newsprint business, right? You've had to watch that evolve, and clearly you have, as you just said. But how was that? What was the first? Did you panic at one point? Go, oh Jesus, there's a million things to do right now, or how did you make the transition?
I think that is a really great question, and especially relevant for these times because I did come from print, and I did find that in the beginning, when print was beginning to transition to, hey, we got to get these stories on the internet, there was resistance to that. But frankly, if that is what people want, and if there's a market for that, then you post those stories where people want them. You figure out how to, we're communicators. So, and I love change. I embrace change and reinvention. I love it. And so I always have tried to think about what is going to be next. How can we position ourselves for that? How can we get people excited about the what's next? And, you know, so really, I've always, and I'm not saying that I haven't maybe clung to one medium over the other, because I you know, I'm a words person, but I try to work really hard to respect the fact that, you know, people do say, if you ask some people where do you get their news, they'll say Facebook. So, you know, when we're posting things to Facebook, we think about that, and we try to compose, you know, on Instagram and Facebook, keeping in mind different audiences.
Sure.
Video the same. I mean, so.
It's so much more instant gratification than it was before. So I think the old routine was you woke up, you got your newspaper, whichever it was, you read it, and that was your information until the next day.
Exactly.
And here we are now, you know, so many means. You could read a headline through Twitter and know in seconds, you know, something.
But
what's going on.
It's weird that the position that we're in, because I kind of get mad when people say the newspaper is going away. Like, the newspaper is going away, right? But hopefully the reporters and all that, you know, we're going digital. I get it.
But the art of journalism is not.
But right, exactly. But then I think of my parents who are 80 plus, and they literally are stuck. They're right stuck in the middle because they don't want a computer. They don't even have a smartphone. And 3 days a week or 2 days a week now is the only time they get a printed newspaper. So it's kind of, you know, there are those people that are kind of stuck in that gap. But the gap really is, again, it's not like news sources are going away.
Absolutely not. And I think one of the big challenges, and it's a responsibility for us as journalists, is we have to now help guide people in choosing reliable information, right? It's almost that there is so much out there. And I think what we all see is we see people selecting information to kind of suit their worldview, which can be very dangerous, right? Because, you know, then you're not really coming at it with an eye towards just being informed overall.
Right.
And then on top of that, you know, maybe not everyone knows exactly what a good primary source is. So I think there's more we carry more responsibility.
That's a great point. Yeah,
So,
no, for sure. Talk a little bit about the Golden Quills. Obviously, you are a part of the Golden Quills for a reason, because it is this esteemed thing, and it has certainly grown over the years, because I want people to know, you know, the importance of it. You know, when we asked you to come on, we sort of tongue-in-cheek said, we are finalists, which we're very proud of, but we're revisiting the finalists who got us the finalist position with the guests we're speaking to. But can you explain in general to the human, the common person, what is the Golden Quill and how has it changed present day?
Yeah, this is an awards, annual awards for it is journalism produced in 29 county area of Western Pennsylvania, and also parts of West Virginia and Ohio. So media outlets that produce work, we ask everyone to submit what they believe is their best work. And then we have journalists and editors from other media outlets judge it. So it really is judged by peers. The reason that we do this is, number one, it's just a great way to support the industry, right? It's a great way to recognize and pause and just say, this is the impact of the work that we have done. It's a good way to show others how others are innovating. And it's also a tremendous way. I mean, we give away scholarships. We have a student scholarship. We have 2 other scholarships. We recognize student work. We added a student category a few years ago, something we really want to do for a long time. And so it is, I feel, in addition just to recognizing the people who are making contributions now, it's a good way to kind of encourage others to stay in it, learn. We made a ton of changes to it. So we used to be all paper, and now we're all online. This year we're virtual, like everybody else. So
right. And we should give a plug that, on
September
3rd at 7 o'clock.
It's at 7 o'clock, yes.
And we can watch it on the Pittsburgh cable channel, but they also have a website, PCTV.
Correct. Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't have to look it up. Thank you so much. We will also have links on our Facebook page to it, so we will definitely make sure, and it is just, and we had, I know the other point I want to make on this is there are many major cities, their press clubs are gone. I mean,
really?
There's SPJ. There are other organizations, but the local homegrown press clubs, many of them, it's been hard to stay afloat.
Yeah, sure.
And so we are really grateful to the community here in Western Pennsylvania who has supported our little nonprofit. And tons of volunteers, Andy Conti from Point Park, Helen Fallon, Karen Carlin, just many volunteers who put in a lot of hours pulling this together. So that's how you do
I did
it.
not realize that it was
Yeah.
so low at that point. Yeah.
Let's make this transition to, so you go from reporter and writer and enjoying life, and now you're the CEO of
Legit.
Postindustrial,
Yeah.
right? So how do you make that jump? Were you prepared to be like the boss, or what do you think you learned along the way to be prepared for that?
Well, that's an interesting question because I'm such probably a strange hybrid of business and journalism. I was a managing editor at the Trib, so I had a team, and we looked at what we did, very pragmatically. I mean, we started a lot of titles and we stopped a lot of titles, and so it was a good opportunity for me to see what worked in certain areas and what unfortunately sometimes we had to close. I love my experience there, but how I transitioned is I hadn't written for a long time. I had done mostly kind of building things, as I would like to say, building teams, which I love to do. And so when I left, when I accepted a buyout, I did it so I could do those things. And I had already started a small business on the side years ago because I said, I want to still be a journalist. I want to be a journalist, and I don't want anything to happen. So I went off and I started another small enterprise so I could have something else to practice and build and, support me while I was off doing other little experiments. So.
Sure.
Fortunately, and then I encountered Postindustrial. I met the founder, Carmen Gentile. He's amazing, and had this real vision for this new brand. And I came there after it was pretty well established. Worked with them behind the scenes last year. So I think that between working on a small business and being in the newsroom, building up teams has been a great preparation because I'm very competitive. I'm very much a numbers person. I love it. So
explain to someone who may not know what is Postindustrial so that they understand, because it's sort of a dual component, right?
Yeah, it's
a multi-component.
It's a multimedia. It's a journalism-driven multimedia outlet. Defined around the concept of post-industrial, which we kind of call it psychogeographical. So let's take Pittsburgh, for example. Let's take Pennsylvania. This is a place that maybe has its identity based in manufacturing. Traditionally, for many years, the economy was one thing and then it went to something else. And so our brand is built around defining what is new and what is next with these communities. How can we redefine ourselves? How can we do things better? How can we reimagine, our industries, our communities? And so we cultivate news from 12 states. Many of our readers are from Western Pennsylvania, of course, because this is where we're based. But we have podcasts. We have a quarterly print magazine. We have a daily newsletter. And we have some other things in the offing. So even though, Carmen and I both come from a background of words, we try very hard to just make sure that we're offering media in all forms, podcasts as well. So
yeah, that's awesome.
So it's a really exciting time, and I'm a bit of an outlier because at a time when, I know there's sometimes some, negativity is a strong word, but around the industry, I'm very excited. I'm glad to be in the trenches building, and I'm really grateful. Yeah.
That's a great way to
Kim,
say
this
that,
has been a blast, actually. I love it. And the fact that I love people that re-engineer themselves. I did that myself. Laid off before you're 50 years old and what do? You write a blog called Ya Jagoff.
Right. That's what I'm going to do before
so
I
it's
turn
crazy.
50.
Wait, are you losing your job? Or
No, I'm just going to start doing
yeah,
that.
right. So in summary, we appreciate you coming. And the bad news is, well, we have a question of the day coming up, but the bad news is you were delivered here in a very nice car. We don't have the budget to take you away, so you're going to have to walk off when you leave. Isn't it stuck?
We're not going to say your partying gift is the car.
Right,
so.
right.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah. But listen, where can everybody find you so that they can follow you on social media, find out more about the importance of journalism from, the club standpoint, but also post-industrial?
Yeah. Press Club of Western PA. We have a Facebook page, very easy to use. Our website is westernpapressclub.org. Also, postindustrial.com is our website, and we're easy to find on Facebook. So
yeah, for sure. And that'll get you to any of the publications.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That will get you to how to subscribe to the newsletter, the magazine, the podcast, everything.
Awesome.
So please subscribe.
All right. Here's the question of the day.
Thank
Here's
you.
the tough one, Kim. Everything else was easy. The tough one is, this is our, we're excited that we're finalists in this amazing, I keep telling people when I worked at the Trib, we were encouraged to submit. Never won anything. Not at the Swickley Herald, not at the Trib.
I'm sorry.
Right? I mean, nothing. I was that boring. I get on this podcast and we're finalists. We're super excited. So that being said, we're celebrating ceremonies, specifically this one. So if you were to win an award, no matter what it is, who's the person who you're giving thanks to? You get up for your acceptance speech and you say, I couldn't be here if it weren't for...
Oh, no. That's so hard.
It's a tough one.
I would say a lot of the mentors that I have had, mentors that I've had through the years.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Bob Fryer is one of them.
There you go.
We started a golf outing in his honor.
Yes.
He was a newsman around Pittsburgh, and he was a big influence on my career,
he's a good
teaching
guy.
me.
Sure.
And so that would definitely be one person.
Okay, fair enough. That's the perfect answer.
And by the way, she brought us swag bags so we can show up here on Facebook, right? Yeah.
This is a T-shirt we had designed, Commonwealth Press. It is a map of post-industrial America.
Okay.
So they will be available on our website soon. We also have a bag designed by Commonwealth Press. We're all in this together. Also designed by Commonwealth Press, a great screen printer and magazine. So it might be, and it might not, but it is.
Well, Kim,
awesome.
thank you so much for making time to come up here on the podcast and sliding through our free Bentley.
And we definitely want to have you on more regularly, even if it's quarterly, just to talk. Let's pick a topic and we'll go with it, right?
Yeah,
we
love
talk.
it. Yeah, cool.
I'm shy, but you make it seem easy.
Oh, thanks. We appreciate it. All right, next
Kim
up.
Palmiero, thank you very much. We appreciate it. All right, so next up we have the girls from Chic Influencer, right?
Girls, yes, we're so excited. So we
them.
have to give a little background so that people understand. Katy, Ursta, and Melanie Mitro are they're name droppers. Oh, do I need to move?
Yep.
John's pulling me.
So we could see them get in.
Katy and Melanie are from Chic Influencer, and they have just exploded from a marketing standpoint over the last 2 years. I have the privilege of knowing Katy from a hockey standpoint, but we've gotten to know them from little things that we've done with Entercom and just, again, how they've grown their brand. Yeah. So they are one of the reasons why we're finalists. It was their episode at Lydia's. Yeah. So we're having them exit the Bentley and come up and chat with us and talk about where they are today. So we're ready when you are, girls.
Yeah.
Colin's bows are hysterical, right?
Yeah.
Not bows.
He's made for
that.
Yeah, not bows. You didn't mean like a Pittsburgh East bows.
No, thank you, Melanie. Sorry about that.
So for anybody on Facebook, we're socially distancing. You guys can take your masks off. Yeah, that's cool, right? If you're comfortable, that's
as long
cool.
as you're comfortable, yeah.
Right.
Because we'll explain to everybody that the ladies work together as John and I work together. Yes. So masks are not required because we're in a pod together all the time.
Right. Yep.
So we'll just keep our distance.
So before we get started, tell us about your brief Bentley experience.
So that was fun. That was fun. I mean, in and out. I know. I mean, I kind of wanted to dive through at one point. It's a great new car smell.
Yeah?
I feel like I'm just going to drive away with it. No one will notice, right?
Listen, everyone thinks it's their partying gift. Like, you're all waiting to see who wins it. It's not happening, ladies, unfortunately.
It was also very clean. If you were to open the backseat of my car, there would be snacks and leftover juice boxes.
Something sticky.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That would, wouldn't it be the best to just open up a Bentley car door and find a French fry?
Oh my gosh, that would be
inside?
so funny.
It'd be like, that's John's car.
That would be if the Rennebecs took it for a test drive. Just saying.
We always say it's let's make a deal. My car's like, let's make a deal.
It really is.
You know, does John have whatever? Yeah, it's probably somewhere hidden in the back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
listen,
welcome,
ladies, we're so happy to have you back. You know, we were talking to Kim. We've truly tried to have Kim on for a long time, and you guys know how that goes. Life gets in the way, right? But with you two, you know, you were in our bullpen over a year ago of guests who we wanted to meet and learn more about because your stories were so inspirational. And so we got some time to talk with you. And it's funny looking back because we were at Lydia's when Lydia was still here, amazing lady. And she was celebrating a milestone. Yeah. And we had more of the focus on Lydia as a female entrepreneur. But your story was so compelling that we ended up submitting it for the Golden Quills. And
so crazy.
It's so cool because you're the reason. Awesome. So it's a thank you to you guys that we are finalists, right?
Yeah,
that's why
exactly.
we're GQ.
So,
but now they're here and we get to hear what they're
so
doing now.
Lydia did our podcast and then she left. But
you can't leave,
But clearly, I'm watching your Instagram pages. Clearly, because you were on the podcast, your careers have skyrocketed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Yeah. So we actually do a couple of things. Our business, Chic Influencer, which we talked about last year. We started. We're coming up on almost 2 years.
It will be. Yep.
Yeah.
And we really got into the business because Melanie has a gift for all things strategy when it comes to marketing, and I have a gift for all things storytelling. And people kept asking us, you know, how do you do this? How do you begin marketing? How do I put myself out there? How do I actually sell effectively? And we noticed that there was this need for especially women who are interested in business. They just needed a little bit more polishing. Yeah. And so we started a business that focused on community and helping people really grow on social media and do it without a high ad spend, because we noticed people were really getting ripped off with what do I sell, you know?
Yep.
And so we started there. And we have been doing that for about a year and a half. We just branched out. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we branched out?
Yeah, so we did. So over the past, you know, I don't know, almost 2 years, 18 months, we just kept coming in contact with business owners that they were like, we love what you ladies do. We follow you on social. Will you do this for our company? And so we would look at their gift and their craft. They're incredibly talented. They just didn't know how to market it effectively. And so we launched Chic Media, which is really a media management company. Actually, just a week ago, we put up the website. We have built an entire program to just really help business owners and take that gift for the story and the strategy and put it out there in a way that gets in front of the right audience and not in a cookie cutter way.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And you have a pretty good website person, I think.
I heard he's okay.
He's all right.
I mean, so my husband actually designed all of our websites. So he has done my website, and he's going hunting. That's a whole different story. So when he gets done with his little trip, he's going to come back and he's going to actually work on my website. But he has also done Chic Influencer, and he has done Chic Media, and he has had a few other clients. So it's been really good.
Isn't that awesome? Especially when it's family based.
So what's one of the more challenging projects? You know, we get the occasionally people say, "Can you help me?" And you know, someone has to have the right product, and they can't be selling square frisbees as we see all the time, right? Because there's no way to promote that, right? Nobody wants one, right? When someone comes to you and they say, "Well, we want to sell something maybe there's just not a market for
different.
It, it's just different." How do you process that? Do you yes, we can help you, but do you find people are open to listen, or are they so? I don't know.
That's a good question. Yeah, because some people you have to be a little bit subjective and a little bit objective because you're looking at it. They're looking at it inside, and they think it's great.
Yeah.
But you might have to be the ones to not burst the bubble, but almost say, "Let's go this way."
Yeah, so we do sort of an intake process that has questions we ask that are specific to that, because most people that own a company and own a business, they are so good at what they do. They're so technical and they look at it from a very different way. When you are speaking to your prospective client out there on social media, you really have to flip the switch and say, okay, let me dumb it down, right, to the person that's not an expert in what I'm trying to sell or what they need. And so what are their pain points, or what is your unique selling proposition? What makes you different than all the other people who sell something or, you know, provide a service like you would provide? For example, a chiropractor. You know, a chiropractor on every street corner, right? What makes one chiropractor different from the next? And so when you start to jog their memory or get them thinking about what it is that makes me different, it starts to happen. The story starts to come out, the unique points of what they do and why they do it and then the light bulb kind of goes off.
Sure.
You know?
But sometimes it takes some time, right?
It does.
It does.
Absolutely.
But it's so fun to be a part of that process
Sure.
because what we do is we hear it from a different perspective. So we're pulling out taglines, we're pulling out key phrases, we're pulling out words from them that they don't even realize they're saying because they're so on the inside.
Yep, sure.
And so that's so much. We get so geeked when we talk about
we
this
do
stuff.
because we almost put ourselves into the place of their actual customer, their potential customer, and we go, okay, we would want to know this, and we would want to know this, and then that's content. This is what we want to create for you, or we want to create with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
And
of
so as far as if you were marketing the Bentley dealer to Rachel and I, what would you do here? No, I'm just kidding.
It wouldn't work.
You're right, like, that's the intake process. What does your bank account look like?
That's why it wouldn't work, for sure. And talk a little bit about, and I love that you touched on women. You know, I don't want to say, I definitely don't want to say that it's been trending, right? But I think women have noticed, I mean, it's the celebration of the 19th Amendment even, right? I think that we've realized that we no longer have to rely on someone else. We are women and we can do the same things, which is amazing because you're seeing a lot of these female businesses emerge and things like that. What have you learned, though, from how to really, you know, embrace being a female? Like, I hate that cliche of, I embrace womanhood, but it's becoming a thing, and it's not a trend for the fact that it needs to stick around. You know, all of these movements need to stick around so that there are these niche, you know, excitement to each one of these groups like women. I know that you did, like we said, Katy Love was on one of your panel discussions. Talk a little bit about like ways that you've helped women in particular.
So I really feel like it's not about relying on someone as much as it's believing that we're better together.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
So I can look at certain skills that people have and know that our client would benefit from seeing those skills. So it's just an abundance mindset of believing that there's room for everybody. And I think that's why Chic Influencer even started. Melanie has amazing gifts and qualities, and we balance each other out. I'm able to give to the company what she's like, I'm not so great at, and then vice versa. And so even when we talk about that idea of I am woman, hear me roar, I also think to myself, my husband's really great at the website. Her husband's incredible with the financial side of things. We don't know anything about those sides. So it's not about feeling like we can't do it with them. It's just that it works better when we do it together.
Absolutely. That was a really good answer. Yeah, because it's true. Because as women, sometimes, you know, I can say this, it goes over the top where you're like, you know, I've had people say, is it a struggle to be a partner with a male? 100% opposite for me. I have I respect so many women in the industry. Some I don't, because I look at it as a different perspective where he and I balance so well that I don't want to do I am woman and I only want to do this by myself. That's why your answer was so perfect because it's true. You kind of safety in numbers in the sense that you know what each bring to the table, but you also have other people involved.
And it's believing you deserve a seat at that table.
That's right.
Too.
Yes.
So that's a big one. And collaboration over competition.
Absolutely. I like that, right?
That's great
because
phrase.
this is a cutthroat world.
Right.
I mean, industry especially, right?
All right, TikTok or Reels? TikTok or Reels?
Look at John. I don't even know this. Where is that? I don't know.
Well, we're definitely not TikTok anymore, although we did. We went viral on TikTok.
Yes.
It was crazy.
It was crazy, and it was awesome, and we just watched that happen.
Was it recent or a little bit ago?
So it was during quarantine, which feels like forever. So it wasn't that long ago, a couple months ago, but we got rid of TikTok.
Okay.
We did. So we have to embrace Reels.
I gotcha.
Well,
and I only know because Katy Roman said, my oldest son said, his girlfriend said, Mike Ursta's wife was on TikTok. so then I got to see Katy on TikTok. So
that's crazy when you know how these things. What was the other? It was 6 seconds of video. I can't remember the software. It's no longer here, but we talked about it on one of the other podcasts. But you have to keep up with all of that stuff. And as Kim said earlier, you have to go where your people are watching, right? And so you can't limit yourself. You can say, I'm only going to print my newspaper, or I'm only going to be on Facebook, but you're going to limit your audience. So you do
go where they go, right?
Yeah.
And that is very true. And even if you look at the trend over the past couple of months, how many business owners have had to pivot? How many people that have done business face to face?
Aren't you sick of the pivot word though?
I am.
Yes.
I am. But it's like it's either sink or swim. Yeah. You are either going to lean in or you're going to be left in the dust.
Yes.
And even as our business grew, all the years of starting to leverage social media, we just realized, I don't want to do Instagram. I don't want to do Instagram. Okay, I'll do Instagram.
Yeah. Right.
It's like we just sort of dig in our heels, but then all of a sudden you start to see how it can be beneficial, how to use it for business. And so it's the same thing. I don't want to do TikTok. I don't want to, and then, okay, well, let's try this. So I feel like it's this process of accepting the the idea and embracing it.
Yeah. You're
and making
absolutely
it work
right.
for you.
And and as you know, coaching them to use it correctly, right? You know, putting up videos or things, whatever, on Instagram, that don't make sense to the brand or whatever else. So I get it.
That's so true. That's the key too.
Yeah.
I love your collaboration
you have to be
over
on Instagram,
competition,
but don't get on there until you can use it correctly. Right?
No,
content
embrace
is the word.
imperfection.
Right.
Embrace imperfection. And even when you're honest with people and say, I don't know what I'm doing. If you do a first reel, and you guys should do this on Instagram.
You sound like
do
Katy
a reel.
Love.
Do a reel and say, we're going to stink at this. It's going to be terrible. And your people are going to be like, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, you're right.
So you just embrace that.
You're right.
And people love that
Okay.
authenticity. And just when you're willing to say, I'm not perfect at this. And I'm going to do it anyway.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're right. Because that's what you have to. I say this to my kids all the time. You have to have these crappy moments. Basically, you have to fail to succeed, right?
Yes.
Because you don't know what it's like to keep trying.
Yes.
Unless you. It
Yeah.
happens. Good
That's
point.
awesome.
Look, Deep Thoughts by Chic Influencer.
I love it. So, if people listening and watching, where do they find you guys on the internet?
Yeah.
So you can find us on Instagram at Chic Influencer. You can find us on Facebook at Chic Influencer. We have a website, chicinfluencer.com and chicwaymedia.com. We're
Look
on
at all that.
LinkedIn. And you can find each one of us, Katy and Melanie, we each have our own personal pages as well. So we're a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
Really
Well,
are.
thanks for
And
being
kudos
a part
to you
of our
for your growth. Yeah.
Golden Quill
you.
today. But we have a question of the day.
Yeah, question of the day. Since we're
Okay.
celebrating you, right? We keep saying this is not about us. This is celebrating the ability to, right? If you were giving an acceptance speech for anything, you won some amazing award, who's the first person you're thanking? You get up there, you're all dressed up, and you're addressing your peeps. Who are you thanking?
I'm going to go with my husband first.
That was good.
Absolutely.
Good
He is just a
answer.
good guy who is
Yeah.
super supportive. He's been supportive since day one.
Yeah.
And you.
Say the same thing.
There you go.
I mean, it's I feel like it's a partnership, and it's awesome that our husbands are
It
so
is.
on board.
Yeah,
and
for
we
sure.
really, it's not a one-woman show or a two-woman show.
Yeah.
It takes an army.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I joke that Mike Ursta is my boss at Team Pitt because as I'm stepping down, he's the IT director and he's the communications guy. So he'll say, hey, can you post this? And I go, yes, boss. And he thinks it's kind of funny.
I know.
He's a great guy. I don't know your husband. I can only imagine how wonderful he is, but you guys definitely have a good thing going. So keep it up. Please keep us posted. Come on and chat. Whatever's new, we're happy to have you.
Awesome.
And as we've said before, we had the budget to get you here in the Bentley, but we don't have the budget to get you
so
out
you're,
of here.
you're done.
So So
Thank
thank
you.
you. We
Thanks
really
anyway.
appreciate it. We really
Thanks for
appreciate
having us.
Yeah,
Thank you,
no worries.
guys.
And coming up now is our last guest.
Yeah, F
right?
to the
So
RZY.
this is going to be very fun to watch the 9-foot-tall Frzy crawl through the back of this Bentley. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go. So Emmy Award-winning musician Fry's going to crawl through the back of our Bentley.
The girls are going to wait and get their video from Colin because Colin is helping Frzy in his blue gorgeous suit that is eloquently shining bright today. I don't know. My verbiage isn't great. I don't have really good.
This is by the way, this is a 2020 Bentley Mulsanne. and it's $369,600.
Oh, it's a little bit
I have
over
the deposit of $600.
You know what?
Here
I
is
wasn't
Frzy.
going over 300.
Yeah,
So
right. I think we can.
look at those shoes.
Look
I mean,
at
we need to like
this.
get a close up on this.
So
guy.
we joked earlier. Yeah, you could take your mask off if you want to socially distance, whatever you want to do.
We're good,
As we joked earlier, Frzy and I had the same shirt on earlier, and then he looked really good in his, so I put this one on.
I appreciate that you did that. You know what I mean? Because I'm just trying to keep up with you out here.
You look so good.
Thank you so much.
Dude, I love
you guys
the
look
color.
amazing too.
Well,
Look.
we're just faking because I have hockey,
Yeah.
so
That's
it's like
true.
throw
And
a
I have
dress
shorts
on.
on underneath.
I mean, sometimes you got to
doesn't
show out the
lift their
kneecaps. Y'all both got the caps out. You know what I mean? That's what we
doesn't
want.
lift their leg
You
up.
know what I mean? You got to lift the leg up.
Listen,
we
this
do
is a-
legs out, not pinkies. That's what we do.
Listen, we're giving little stories behind why everybody's on. So Frzy, obviously, is so near and dear to us. We credit David Allen for even the introduction.
Shout out to
right?
my boy, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fantastic intro. And it really was a match made in heaven from the time we met him. We asked him to come on the podcast. We did a lot of great things together. If you kind of just look back over the last 2 years, I mean, he broke a world record.
Yeah.
We got to see the different things that he was doing with the Mr. Rogers Foundation.
Yeah.
Back and forth to LA. And this is what sort of is a good and bad thing. You're on today for music.
Yes.
Because we can't talk too much to you because you won our hashtag BYOP, which
Right.
is Build Your Own Podcast
Woo!
episode.
All
So we're
right.
still waiting. Eaton Park has been gracious. They want us to go there
Which
and
is-
do an episode.
I mean,
right?
it's the place for smiles,
It's
so
the-
I'm,
right?
you already know.
Do you know that they want you to basically greet people with rapping?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they want like
That's
you
the
did
premise.
for
That's
your.
amazing.
They want you to freestyle as people come in,
Like you did at the blog.
Yeah, like you did at the blog.
Look, as long as they
That's-
supplying smiley cookies,
Right,
we can,
that's
we
it.
can
Are you a
negotiate.
smiley cookie
I'm
guy?
a smiley cookie. I'm so addicted to smiley cookies.
Really?
It's a problem. Like, it's weird. Like, whenever like friends or family like bring me cookies, it's
You're happy.
always a
Yeah.
smiley face
Oh, okay.
cookies.
Well,
Yeah,
then
so
we'll
that
just
so
send
they're
you
gonna
some.
understand that I'm an addict.
Okay.
And if they want to feed my addiction, it's
Do it.
You know what I mean?
My address is. No.
My address is right. No,
My
yeah.
son would not eat a smiley cookie when he was a kid because it had a face on it. He was like, no, it has a face.
It gets
It's
creepy.
terrible.
Yeah, I have to admit, I always was like, I was leaving the funny Eden Park, so I was leaving the studio a couple nights ago. Well, no, not a couple nights, a couple months ago, and I'm with my whole team there, with management, with my assistant, and we're eating, and the waitress recognized me mid-meal. Right, and she's like, "Oh, Frzy," and I got up and took pictures. I was taking pictures with everybody in there, and then we sat down, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, like, can I have an autograph?" I was like, "Listen, if my to-go bag got a few smileys in it, you know what I mean? You can have whatever you want."
I
And
got
she-
you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And she
Yeah.
hit me. She hit me. I ain't gonna say her name because I don't want to get in trouble. She hit me with like a 3-4 piece. It was
Ooh.
like three or four of them. When you get over 2,
Yes.
I was
you're
like,
important.
listen.
Now, are you a
Yeah.
dunker in milk? or
oh,
anything like that?
absolutely, I'm a
Yeah.
dunk. I'm a big
Okay.
milk guy anyway. One of my dreams. I'm gonna say that on here now because if it happens, then we get it. One of my bucket listings is to be a spokesperson for Got Milk.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a big milk.
Yeah.
Like I drink. You know what I mean? Like
Wow.
it's disgusting how much milk I drink. But
I love
also,
milk.
did you know if you can drink milk, that's something different. That's a part of evolution. That's a
Yeah, I did hear
yeah,
that.
like we're not supposed to be able to drink milk
Yeah.
once
Right.
we get older. So if you can do that, it's a
You're like superpower.
yeah, it's a superpower.
Which is why you're so into the superhero stuff.
that I
so,
am, man.
yeah.
That I am. I have my
Little
Black
bit
Panther ring on
6 degree.
right
I
now.
know.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
How
thought
about
of you. I
yeah.
saw that.
Yeah,
Oh,
my phone
gosh.
got blown up last night.
That's
I
crazy.
cried heavy last night a little bit this morning.
Such a young guy.
Yeah, 43, man, 43.
43.
So he's one of my heroes for me. Yeah. So for me it's been rough because
Yeah.
I have 4 heroes. I have Jay-Z, Will Smith, Kobe Bryant, and Black Panther.
Yeah,
And
wow.
for Chadwick has become that person for
Yeah.
me because he brought my imagination to the flesh. So,
Yeah.
so 2 people I haven't had a chance to meet. I didn't get to meet Kobe. I didn't get to meet Chad, and it was
Yeah.
just to say thank you. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
that's why it hit me even harder last night to know that with my voice I can't say thank you, but with my spirit and my legacy I can. So
Yeah.
I think
that's a great point.
that's something I'm
Does
gonna
that mean
try.
maybe there's a song coming out? Do we
There
think-
definitely will be. Absolutely, absolutely, for sure. I mean, later on today I'll be posting all the Black Panther stuff I have in my house, and I have Wakandan tattooed all over
Right,
my
I
body
knew that,
anyway.
yeah.
So I'm a big person in that. But just to lose a king like that,
Yeah.
it makes everybody everybody takes their hats off in remembrance of we all take our crowns off today.
Frzy, was it liver?
It was
No.
colon
Colon
cancer.
cancer.
Colon. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Colon
Yeah.
cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had it for 4 years. Didn't tell anybody.
Didn't tell anybody, and that's the thing is skipping over from that a little bit is that he was a role model for
Definitely.
black kids.
Oh, my
Right,
goodness.
as far
Right.
as being able to do that, that's
Right.
why the Black Panther was so big.
Yes.
Right, and
Yes.
so How do you see? Actually, let me erase that. So he was a role model,
Right.
as you are a role model,
Yes.
and he was transitioning, helping people transition, right?
Yes.
And that's what we tried to do in the midst of all of your
Which-
music. We
yes.
have all tried to work together to
Absolutely.
figure out how we help the situation that we
Right.
talked about.
Right.
And you were part of you and Arthur,
Which
Moses
was an
part of our
amazing,
discussion.
amazing
It's a great
experience.
time, yeah, I have to
Amazing.
say.
So now, when someone like him goes away, do you feel a sense of responsibility where?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I
It
take
took me a long time to get
No,
there.
I
No, it's
knew-
okay.
I was like, left, right, here. Go.
Well, sometimes the most exotic places take a while to
I
get
was
to,
sleeping
right?
for a
We
second.
drive, we get there. It's great. No, I'm okay with that. We got gas. We got gas money. I got you. I'm working. I'm doing good in my life. I got gas money.
Gas is a different phrase. yeah, for.
God, I quit. This was such a good question.
Sorry. It wasn't. Yeah,
He did good. He did good. No, I think that absolutely right. You feel that energy, but I think that that's what one of his big goals were, right? To create this atmosphere that everyone can breathe in, and to take it and hold that up. And I think that that's the thing that really makes me smile amongst the tears, is knowing that he left a legacy with the door unlocked.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And it's allowed us to be able to walk in there and be able to represent, his not only his legacy but his name, but Wakanda, and really, especially at a time like this in America, to be able to say, in the midst of everyone fighting and arguing about losing a black life, we lost one that didn't involve bullets, and it still hurt the same.
Great point.
You know, and
absolutely.
it's wow. So to see the world unite over someone that was unanimously called a king.
Yeah.
And that people like my nephew, who's 10, about to turn 11, and these little kids who see him as Black Panther. Last night they didn't lose Chadwick Boseman; they lost Black Panther.
You're exactly right. What do they know, right?
Right. What do they know? So for them, they lost a king who they saw show them that being black was beautiful. And I said in my post, he made our black skin shine.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
to understand that that no matter what, you can do it. And one of the things I've been saying is that, last night I went to sleep thinking, wow, God takes black kings too soon.
Yeah.
So what made him different from Denzel Washington, from Tyler Perry? Like Tyler
Because
Perry
of
has
the
built this.
roles they play,
But Tyler Perry has built this humongous place, right?
Right.
So what, or was he another one like?
Well, see, I think that they are all similar within the major goal, right? They are all similar within watching us create generational wealth, right? And seeing that it is possible to do the things that you wanted to live your dream. But I think within categories, right, Denzel comes from a different time period, right? So I think Denzel shows that the consistency.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Tyler Perry shows location, right? Because most of his things are based on the black community.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So you see Medea, who is this wise woman, but that's grandma, right? That's the grandma that was on the porch in the hood every day. That was right.
Yeah.
So that was able to bring, especially white America, into our culture and into the way we grew up, and see that Medea is not this rich, rich woman with money, but rich with knowledge. And
that's such a good point with Tyler Perry, because as you know, growing up in the North Side,
come on.
you drove through the North Side,
it was Big Mama. Everybody knew Big Mama. No doubt.
So
right.
It did for real help white America.
Yes.
Who grew up in the city to relate.
Yeah.
But yet understand.
Exactly. There were unwritten rules within that neighborhood that you knew. You didn't disrespect certain people. There was ma'am and missus and you know what I mean? Yes, ma'am and no ma'am. And then what Chadwick represented, I think, was a reality of fantasy. Right, a remembrance for stuff like Thurgood Marshall and Robinson. I mean, he passed on Jackie Robinson Day.
How crazy was that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so now you remember 42, and for Black Panther, which is somebody that people don't know. When Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and all them, and they all created him. This is early during the Black Panther movement, right? But this is before the Black Panther movement even existed, that he created Black Panther, a black character that's a king from Africa, right? During a time when we couldn't even sit in the same room as a white person or drink from the same water fountain. So to see that was something that I grew up on Black Panther, and then to see him come to life. Yeah. And then to be like, that's him. And to see now, like, I read his voice in the pages and he sounded like me, but now he sounds like Chadwick. Or to see cartoons of him drawn and he looks like Chadwick, right? So I think that's what he brought to it, was a realistic, he brought imagination to life. And
that's a great point.
So now it's like, okay, wow, when you lose that, you lose a little bit of your imagination. It's the same way as a grown adult felt the day we heard, Mr. Rogers passed away.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the transition from that is, I always tell you this, I could hear you speak forever because, well, you really put thought into, let's face it, you almost overthink, which is not a bad thing because it helps people to put things in perspective. So talk a little bit about how, and whatever the circumstances, as we know, we did our panel discussion.
Right.
How have things like the racial inequality or the passing of someone who you cared for, you know, as a mentor, how do those kinds of things help you from a grieving process or from a growing process writing your music? Because I know that that's changed in what you wrote. Let's face it, you were known for the Mr. Rogers, so you took an already existing thing and made it your own. Super cool. There's a talent there. But from that, then you went to, you know, songs that people know, even the Golden.
Golden is huge right now, right?
So where are you now with thinking? I mean, because I know what kind of thinker you are.
Yes.
So what is the writing part like?
That's a great question. It's been a very... Come on, she's killing it out here, man. Come on,
you
man.
didn't hear the earlier guest.
Oh well, I'll be.
This is the one that matters.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Well, look, I mean, when I share it on my Facebook page at Frzy, follow it. When I post it, everybody's gonna have to watch the whole thing before they even get to me anyway, so they're gonna hear all of it. I think right. It's been interesting coming to terms with being an overthinker in a world that thinks too slow, right? Yeah. And it's like, or being from a city that may be seen as thinking, you know, in the past or living in the past. Sure. It's been a wild ride because, you know, I'm known for my metaphors. I love party music. I love making things for girls. I love doing dance music. I love also being deep. I did a song called No Justice, No Peace with Roscoe Wiki and Terry Jones that really, you know, I had some lines in there that were very, that people start putting on T-shirts and stuff like that. So I think using the talent that I'm known for to be able to capture the moment, it's been weird because I have a lot of cool things lined up, like new songs, new videos we're gonna do, people dancing, booty clapping, all that fun stuff. But you have to kind of put it on pause, right? Because it doesn't feel right. Yeah. And it's like it's made me adjust. You know what? It's made me reposition my sentences. So instead of saying something that I would want to say in a certain way, now I'm saying it the way it needs to be heard. You know. So it's been a transition. But an enjoyable one because I know that it's making the world a better place. And as a musician, as a poet, as someone who is a master of ceremonies, as an MC, right, I think it's my job to conduct the ceremony. And right now, the ceremony has, unfortunately, it's gone from celebration of black skin to remembering that, you know, memorials and funeral services and those type of ceremonies that have been going on.
But here's the question. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Do you feel like, and obviously things are still happening, but do you feel like there's change happening? Do you feel like that there's progress? I don't want to say change because I don't think change takes time.
Yes, of
so
course.
I don't want to, so I'm thinking in my words too.
Right.
So change takes time. So we can't say that there's a huge change when unfortunately we're still seeing things happening.
Right.
But do you feel progress?
Yes, I do. Good. I do feel progress. It's interesting, right? Because like what happened to Jacob Blake is a step back, right? Yep. Like you feel like like when you're progressing forward and you feel that hit.
Like,
but
damn, yeah.
Right. But I'm always a big, I'll give you an example. I'm always a big like acknowledging person, right? And for me, I think I see, I was used to seeing a big white wall, right? And this white wall is painted over a black wall, okay? And over time, I've seen the white paint start to fade a little bit. So you start to kind of see the black come through. And then you get excited because you go, it's starting to look gray, right? It's starting to blend together. Like I can see the gray spots in there. And now I also, not only do I see gray spots, but I see white and I can see black paint because it still has not blended together. But every once in a while, I think right now, you have a person come and just create white polka dots, right, on the black spots.
Gotcha.
And they just,
you
know, and you can see, and they want you to see them doing it. And I think that's the thing that's messed up is not only do they like white paint, but they hate gray paint. They say that they don't hate black paint. I love black paint. What do you mean? Black paint? I own black paint.
Yeah, and I love polka dots.
And I love polka dots, right? But I hate gray.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's the problem. Is hating gray.
Yeah.
You know
but
what
I'm
I mean?
glad that you say that because listen, obviously two different worlds.
Right.
But I come from I come from a place that wants to learn and educate. And so I think that the more we do that, it's healthy to know how's the progress going. You know, you have to have check-ins, right? How's it going? And again, it's important to say you're not the end-all be-all, not that you're claiming to be.
No.
I think it has to be mutual, that everybody's saying, well, I feel a little different about what I'm asking or how, you know what I mean?
But see, that's the thing. I'm not the end. I'm not the finish line, but I'm damn sure a check mark.
Yeah.
A checkpoint.
Sure.
Right. And it's about, but see, that's the refreshing thing. You want to learn. You want to learn. Not only do you want to learn, but then once you learn, you want to teach. Yeah, and that's the difference. That's the only way this is going to change is the people who want to learn deciding that they also want to teach.
Sure.
Because that's what sucks. Because what's happening is you guys want to learn, right? And then you learn. And then there's maybe people around you that want to learn but don't want to teach. And then when graduation comes, they get diplomas too. And you're like, yo, you wasn't even in class.
Damn, you're good at that. Yeah.
Right? Like, we all at graduation. Like, I know you skipped half this year.
Yeah.
But it's because you got a copy. You got one of them tests at the end of at the end when they're like, if you just get a C on this, we'll let you graduate. I've been here. I got perfect attendance. I got to stand on stage with him. Yeah. What you mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just want, for me, and to continue with the point, I just want all white people to want to be valedictorian. Yeah. Why would you not want to be?
Yeah.
Because there are also black people that want to learn.
Yeah.
And black, like me, myself, I'm still learning.
But and I find the conversation easier. Like we said, when we did the panel, it was like asking the questions no one wants to ask. But I'm finding it easier. And listen, we're lucky, as we said, that we could say, we didn't just go, oh, I'm going to call my one black friend and ask them what we do. We had multiple people who we work with regularly. Okay, fine. That's great.
Right.
But some people didn't. So to me, it feels like the conversation's getting easier to have. So that has to be a good sign.
That is definitely.
Know what I mean?
But then it's about, it's so funny. I know a lot of white people that have no black friends. And then that's the scary thing is they don't, and now they feel like it's too late to go get them because now they think that if I go get it, it's going to look like I'm just going to get back. But it's like, and also I told my one friend's friend who wasn't my friend, we're friends now, but I was like, it's okay. Do you know what? Right now, that's more of a compliment than anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to be driving downtown and see a white person with a sign that says, "I want more black friends. Say hello."
Right. Let's hashtag that.
Can we do that?
I'll get a t-shirt.
Hashtag I want more black friends. That's okay. It's cool, And that's the thing that I think is great because what cracks me up is you see people online and they're just like, well, these hoods, right, are like terrible, right? They're selling drugs and they're doing this and they're doing blah, 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 and they're killing people. It's terrible. They're the worst people in the world. They're the worst drug dealers ever. And then you're like, well, there's a dude named Capone. Who was pretty, you know what I mean? Like, so what are these mafia guys not as terrible because they're organized? Because they wear suits instead of white T-shirts?
Yes.
No matter what, in all cultures you go to, drug dealers, shooting, killing, murdering, these things happen all the time.
Yeah.
But it's more likely that it happens that blacks kill blacks or whites kill whites because we're all isolated into an environment that we're closer to each other. You usually die or get murdered by the person by the same race as you because you live amongst that race.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's just it's scary to see willful ignorance.
Yes.
People are excited to be ignorant and they talk to each other in a circle. So you know what I mean? So we're just all sitting here with shorts like, oh, your knees look amazing. Your knees look amazing. Your knees look amazing. Does that dude have pants on? Right? Like seeing somebody with pants is an insult. Like you came in here with pants?
I'm never in my surgery and I didn't shave my knees.
Listen, I got that same scar though.
Let's talk about so you were on our podcast where we're up for a Golden Quill. We're
GQ.
finalists.
When do we find out exactly when we win?
September 3rd. So this will come out on Monday on Katy, Tuesday on us, and then Thursday.
So it'll be on PCTV.com.
Okay.
People can watch it. So when we did it, though, we took you for your very first Gus and Ya ice ball. Right?
Come on, man. Shout out to the bees, by the way. The bees don't get enough love. Shout out to the...
That's exactly right. The bees.
Dude, you know what's funny? We were leaving an event downtown. Not an event. John had to speak outside for PEMF.
Come on, man. Big
and
things.
We were leaving, and he goes, "Are your kids at home?" And I said, "No." And he goes, "Do you want to stop at Gus and Ya?"
Come on, man.
I was like, "Yes."
Come on, Gus.
Let's go. Like, and we didn't have to get any for my kids. So it was kind of nice. But the bees were there. It was such a
They're
reminder.
always there, man.
And you just like greet them.
And he like
just to get
pets
through.
them.
That's what I'm saying. He's like a bee whisperer.
He rubs them on the belly. Yeah, right.
His name, my friends, we all call him.
Anything. He's like, "Hey guys,
Right.
how did the things work out with your friend?" Like, just
We call him Cheerios. That's my nickname for him is Cheerios because he always has the bees around him, the honey bees. He's sweet. He's a sweet guy like Cheerios. He got the bees on deck with him.
You even freestyled.
Yes, I did, man. That interview was timeless, man.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, and it was your concept. You came to us and you said, have you guys ever done just a podcast about one person? We're like, no, we always have 3 or 4. Would you like to try that? And
that was deep too.
And
yeah,
that,
learned a lot
and
about
that's
you.
the podcast that is, up for the
ironically, it was before. I want to say this, like thinking back, it was before anything happened with Black Lives Matter.
Before anything,
with George,
right?
Yeah,
right.
So
and we went deep. Like
we were friends without just
That's what I'm saying. Y'all ain't need a hashtag. Y'all didn't need a hashtag.
Where's Frzy today? I need a black friend. Yeah,
you guys were stuck with me. You guys were stuck with me. Well, you got to get the black. We our first interview was in the rain. People don't know we was in the rain, holding downpour. Like we could have got electrocuted. We wanted this friendship so much. It was like we could die from this.
You had the same shirt on.
We did. I did have the same shirt on. You know what I mean? And then I got a couple new tattoos with it though. I added it in. You know what I mean? I was like, Rach is coming. Hold on. Wait a second. Let me. You know what I'm saying? Wait a second. But Gus.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
seriously.
Thank you, guys.
But it was your idea. You said, how about an extended version? We did it, and now we're finalists. And I don't know if you heard Kim talk about this, but it's 30 counties. So it's not just Westmoreland. It's not just Allegheny.
Right.
It's 29 or 30 counties.
Wow.
And they all submit. And what's cool is, like I told you, it used to be just newspapers. And now they've even added, lowly podcasts like ours. But you make our lowly podcast look good. So thank you.
But and one more thing is to remind you is that this isn't Pittsburghers that listen to the podcast.
No.
It's out, they're out somewhere else.
Right.
And they listened to the podcast and thought that we all did a good job.
Well, I mean, that's what means a lot. Well, I mean, you guys are amazing hosts and you guys are amazing creators. I remember sitting there because I remember you were killing the questions of the day. You were killing them. And it was great to see you guys going back and forth. Your chemistry is just a class that I love to be in. And being able to come and be in the middle of that and fit in comfortably. I mean, our friendship and our relationship has been growing consistently regardless. But to be able to do as many interviews as we do or interactions as we do, and having you guys going from a bench with bees to hundreds of people for world records, which I wouldn't have been able to do without you guys, is something great. So if the quill is one of the first things I can do to even start to recognize you guys' greatness. We got a lot of work to do. I'm excited. Now I'm definitely gonna need 2 of them because I'm gonna need to put one on my. You know what I mean? I got an award thing in my house with like the Emmy on it and Grammy stuff. Like I'm excited.
I got a quill.
I need a quill.
We're gonna give you one of those wood burning engravings of Rachel and I holding it.
Please. I just want a long one that just y'all knees. It's just like
So before we let you go, how did you like your almost ride in the Bentley?
Man, let me tell you something right now. Y'all almost didn't get me out the back seat. It was almost a problem.
You weren't coming out.
It's almost a problem. You know what's so dope about it too? I don't know if Bentley set this up. I don't know if Jason set this up. Shout out to Jason. But that inside of that Bentley is very Black Lives Matter. It's very white and black in there. Yeah. It blends well.
He did.
He's a smart guy. But I mean, it's sexy. Being in there.
That is a $369,000 car right
that's cheap. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
what I said. It's a little over my budget.
Couple of payments. So.
That's nothing. But see, what you do with this car is you pay that money and then you just don't take it nowhere.
Right. It's like my health insurance.
You feel me?
I can't afford
I'm not
use
doing
it.
that.
Yeah.
You know a car is sexy. You know a car is expensive when they say it depreciates when you get it off the lot.
Yes.
If when you get it off the lot, it's still over your budget. If when you take
and 10 years later still.
Yeah. 10 liters still. I don't even want to rent it. Like,
listen, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Where does everybody find you online?
Follow.
Man, it's Frzy. It's Frzy. You can find me anywhere on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok now. I'm out here doing the dances. Woo-hoo. And also just in your mind and your heart, if you want good music, I'll always be there.
Yeah.
All right, question of the day. You can't get away without
I can't wait.
So since this is the ceremony episode called GQ,
okay.
If you were to win an award, no matter what it's for, and you have.
I got a couple of them.
Yeah.
A couple.
Real ones.
So,
not just pickle pins.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Right.
Who's the first person you would thank in your acceptance speech?
God.
I knew it.
Okay.
Listen, this is the best part. Every one of the people who were on thanked somebody different special.
Yeah.
And they're like, someone said mentor, someone said husband or spouse, and
right.
God.
I would say God first because the person I'm gonna thank next he created. So.
Yeah.
You got to kind of start from there.
I would say God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't thank the egg without the chicken, right?
That's right. That's right.
Mentor or metaphor.
I thought y'all were going to ask me like what award do I want to win? I was like ready. I was like practicing.
Tell me. Go ahead.
What would it be?
Oh, The Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, okay.
I need
that would help.
I need that. Yeah, I need that. So can we play this podcast back during when we do it?
Yes.
This is a good podcast.
When I win it, it'll be good.
That's
right.
We'll reflect. Yeah.
And we won't need Bentley to take us there. You know what I mean? Put that out there in the universe.
I love it. Frzy, thank you very much for coming on this podcast.
Thank you,
Thanks
guys.
for hanging with us, and thanks to Katy.
Thanks to Katy Ursta and Melanie Mitro from Chic Influencer.
Come on, Kate and Mel. Let's go.
Yeah, Kate and Mel. Yeah, come
on.
Do
thanks
it.
To Jason for hosting us.
Yeah, always a thanks to Jason Moka and Bentley for having us. They let us invade for the entire day, really.
Right, cool. You guys are over here going over amazing magazines too and everything. Like
thanks to Kim Palmiero for coming. Thanks to Kim Palmiero for coming on here.
Come out here putting the pages.
Thanks
together.
to Mike Zachra, our intern.
Come on.
Thanks to Colin Parrish, who is not only taking pictures and videos, but he doubled down on letting people in and out.
He was really good at that.
Yo, he was quick with it too, man.
Guy.
You know what I'm saying?
He's a real.
Well, because you gotta have an expensive type of finger to open a Bentley. You know what I mean? Like he looked at me like he did it before.
High class.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this man out here making eye contact. I like it. You know?
And, you know, if you need, when you go get your Nobel Peace Prize, if you need someone to open the door for you,
we'll let him come.
Listen, as long as he don't charge me too much. You know what I mean? This man out here graduating. You know what I'm saying? He worth a lot more now. You know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. But no, I love you guys, man. Thank you for having me.
We love you too. And thanks to Rohrich Honda, they take pride in community involvement. From looking forward to walk-in vehicle questions to customizing end-of-the-month deals, they always have the customer in mind.
Be sure to catch their community event, perfectly titled The Pick Up and Go Comedy Show, which, by the way, if you're on Facebook Live, is tonight. There are still tickets left, and the weather people say that we can do it.
That it's okay to go.
And the county people say we could do it. So make sure you check out Rohrich Automotive social media for details. And when you can socially distance, have a truckload of fun. As always, visit Rohrich.com for all of your Frzy vehicle needs.
Come on, man. Vroom, vroom.